The ancient world was enveloped in a veil of secrecy, and at the same time was the period of birth of the great civilizations of Sumer and Akkad, Babylon and Egypt, India and China. A meticulous study of the history of these states concludes that the more data we have, the more questions arise. Recent archaeological findings suggest civilization is much older than previously thought. If the oldest Sumerian culture occurred 5,000 or 6,000 years ago, and the northern rivers of the city date back to 12 millennium BC, then, for example, what can be made of the recently discovered Göbekli Tepe in western Armenia? Geographically located in northern Mesopotamia, the kingdom of Urartu is still an unsolved mystery for historians. Nothing is assuredly decrypted, the language nor the origin of ethnicity, nor even the name of the state. However, Urartu retains so many similarities with the first civilizations of Sumer and Akkad. As primary examples, the pantheon of the gods, the rites and rituals, the architecture. So why is modern science confounded by this confluence? The fact is that this state was forgotten for more than 2,000 years, abolished from formal history. From the 5th century BC until the 19th century, European science had no idea about the existence of the kingdom of Urartu. All discoveries occurred accidentally, which extremely interested some Europeans. Scientists drew attention to the narrative of the medieval Armenian historian Movses Koronatsi, who wrote about the participation of the Assyrian queen Semiramis in the construction of the city on the shore of Lake Van. In the year 1827, the young scientist Friedrich Schultz copied inscriptions in cuneiform found on one of the rocks in Van, the capital of the ancient residence of the kings of Urartu. It was assumed that the inscriptions were made in Assyrian, but further research into the city of Tushpa determined that the inscriptions were made in a drastically different language. The Assyrians called the neighboring country Urartu and Nayeri. The essence of the cuneiform letters is that only consonant sounds are written. The grammar of Hebrew and Arabic, for example, is based on this principle. Therefore, the word Urartu, on this basis, can easily be read as Ararat. Nayeri means country of rivers. In the Syrian and related Hebrew, Nar also means river. In the ancient world, it was common to refer to the states on the basis of geographical features. Remember, the Roman and Byzantine empires, which were named after their main cities. In fact, in the approval of the name of the newly formed state, there was a conspiracy among the scientists because its name is unknown to many of the original researches and inquiries into the words of dead languages. Let's turn to other sources. In the Bible, Urartu is indicated as the Ararat kingdom. In the Greek translation of the book of Genesis, the ark stopped on the mountains of Ararat, and in the Latin translation, on the mountains of Armenia. According to the authors of the Jewish encyclopedia Brockhaus and Ephron, in the legend of the deluge, we are talking about the mountains of Ararat, in the country rather than on the mountain Ararat itself. Among the most ancient civilizations in the history of mankind, Sumer and Akkad, the country Arata is mentioned. The name of the mountain Ararat, as the center of the Armenian highlands and northern Mesopotamia, receives several mentions by ancient Greek, Roman, and Persian authors. When you view a page of Urartu in Wikipedia, the first name one encounters is Ararat. The most interesting and mysterious facets regarding the history of Urartu is inside the riddle that goes by the name of the supreme god of Ararat Kingdom, which is known as Kaldi. According to the official version, this deity is not found in any other civilization. But is it really so? Here is cuneiform name of the chief deity of the ancient Armenian kingdom of Urartu. The first character of an 8-pointed star is set to God, and it is placed before all the names of any deity of the ancient peoples of Mesopotamia and indicates God. The second cuneiform sign is read as Hal. It has no translation, but the clear inference is that we are talking about a name. Any scholar connoisseur of the cuneiform system of writing will confirm that it is permissible to also read this word as Hai, and if the form reading Hal has no historical antecedent and does not appear in the subsequent memories of the people, Hai is attested to, both in historical memory and subsequent generations of this region. The third sign, with a form reading Dai, means live in the language of Urartu. So it turns out a logical and a familiar name from the depths of the ages, God Hai live, or live God Hai. This emphasizes the continuity of the kingdom of Ararat from the most ancient beliefs, where the most revered god was God creator of Haya. It is the name of God the Creator formed the basis upon which the Armenian people achieved self-definition, which since ancient times has been residing in the territory where the kingdom of Ararat lies. It is also common knowledge that man was created by God Haya in the Garden of Eden in northern Mesopotamia, in a place that Greek and Roman authors called the Armenian Highlands. Not accidentally, in the Middle Ages on world maps, Eden was depicted precisely in Armenia, as in on this Dutch map. That's why the cult of god Haya was transformed into a cult of the supreme god of the ancient Armenian kingdom of Urartu and entrenched in the memory of future generations. In many instances, this word is used in various languages around the world. Similar metamorphoses in the history of Urartu are very many, and their disclosure requires a wide range of knowledge, from available facts and information from past centuries up to the modern discoveries of historical science and archaeology. On the basis of objective facts, scientists are beginning to abandon the term Urartu and are increasingly using the term Van, or Ararat Kingdom, though they have a great variety of unsolved secrets and mysteries left before them to unravel.